Welcome to Winthrop Today, a series of short videos about people who live or work in Winthrop. I am your host, Dr. Robert Staulo. Our guest today is Lee Fich. Hello, Lee.
Hi,
Thank you
Roger.
for being on our show.
You're welcome.
You had a very remarkable childhood. Can you tell us where you grew up?
A remarkable childhood. I think I had a normal childhood. Anyway, the corner of Wambach and Harold Street in Roxbury. I was born around there. I mean, I was born in the hospital. I was born in the same hospital my mother was, and all my friends' parents were all born there.
What hospital was that?
Well, I'm just trying, Boston Lying In. Boston Lying In. I forget what it
Okay.
is called now, but that's anyway. But I don't remember that. Anyway, we lived on the corner of Wambach and Harold in Roxbury, and I went to the Williams School in kindergarten until about third or fourth grade, and it was a mixed neighborhood. Rather, that the corner of Harold Street, from Harold up and down, that was a totally black neighborhood. And the little street, Wambach Street, that went towards Townsend, whatever, that was very much of a white neighborhood. No question, black and white. The problem, in my opinion, I wasn't aware of the difference between black and white as kids and all. But what I did know is that when a bunch of kids called me, Christ killer, that was the biggie, not the color of our skin. That's funny. I mean, I don't know, it's not funny, but we played together in terms of playing marbles and playing in cards, whatever. I don't know very much about, it was a time when he came home for lunch. We had big lunch hours, and Mom would be listening to Helen Trent and Our Gal Sunday, and then lunch and back to school. And the traumatic experience at school was the fact that my second grade teacher never thought that Lee was the proper name for a little girl. That's a boy's name. You can't be Lee. You can't be L-E-E, Lee. So she gave me all kinds of names like Leah and Leona and Leatrice and all, but she wouldn't call me Lee. And I remember one time my father saying, and kids would call me out at different names, and my father would say, why don't you tell them what your right name is? But there was no way I wanted to reveal that I had this name. It wasn't a good name for a little girl.
Yeah.
So I called myself Daisy and Susie and all kinds of names growing up.
Yeah. It's amazing how an experience like that in elementary school can stay with you your whole life.
All right, and the continuation of that experience is when we moved to Revere.
Moved to what?
Revere, when I was about the 5th grade or so. And
Revere.
yeah, and I remember that, I mean, it was a new school and it was fine and dandy. And then one day, it's about the 3rd or 4th day that I was there, the kids were telling me that Mr. Lesser is coming, and he's the most wonderful person. He does gym with different classes, different days, and so forth. But they told me how great he was so great that there was no way when the teacher said, we have a new little girl in our class, would you introduce yourself? Well, I can remember the feeling that I had standing up and looking at him and saying, and everybody else, and saying, my name is Miss Nobody, because I didn't want him to know that I had that horrible name for a little girl. So that stuck with me, I guess.
You wouldn't tell them that your name was Lee.
No. Because I had such a horrible...
Because you had such a bad experience.
Yeah, that wasn't the right name for a little girl.
Yeah.
And this great man.
Unbelievable. What
No,
is
it's
that
sad.
called today? And now there's girls that name all kind of things now.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your experience like in Revere?
I don't know.
What grade were you when you went to Revere?
I think 4th.
4th. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it was the same. I mean, I enjoyed school at all times.
Oh, you did?
I mean, sure. I think our activities as we grew older were different, but then they are, well, kids are kids.
Yeah.
I doubt very much.
So you got along with everybody over there. Pretty good.
I think I got every place. I mean, I remember having struggles.
Well, you didn't have any fist fights, right?
No.
I'm just
I don't-
kidding.
No. Mhm.
And after Revere High School you graduated from?
Yes.
After that, where did you go?
Simmons.
Simmons College.
Right.
Okay. And what did you study there?
Well, I intended to study. I was on the Revere High Journal, and I loved writing. I thought I loved writing, and then I realized I was going to be an English major in journalism, and I was going to be a journalism major, really. And then I decided I just majored in English, and I decided there was no way I was going to be a writer.
Oh, yeah.
I hated writing.
So
Absolutely. I mean, hated it not because I hated. I was never satisfied with the sentence I wrote after I started college.
Okay. So then you became what?
An English major and a teacher.
And a teacher. And where did you teach?
At Saugus, because when I started, I loved it. I mean, and I started as an English teacher.
Saugus
and-
High?
Yeah, I started as an English teacher and taught maybe a couple of French class now and then, but I wasn't that good at it. But I loved it. But then I took a year off, and I ended up spending a year. I'd gone to a Shakespeare festival and ended up taking a whole year and hitchhiking across in Europe and landing finally in Paris in the beginning of the university year, like late October, the first week in November. And I ended up getting an au pair job and staying in Paris for the year and going to the university for a year. And I was treated as a French student. I didn't go with any program or anything. Therefore, I had the tuition and everything free, healthcare free, meal stuff, and took what I wanted. And it's a time when language teaching is changing. Also, there was no TV there was TV, but not in English. Everything was French, and I couldn't even go home. It was too expensive. So I had 24 hours a day of French for a year. And came out a French teacher.
So you speak French now?
Oh, but I came out a French teacher when language teaching was changing and we were beginning to use audiovisual methods and when I grew up, you learned to translate and conjugate verbs.
Okay. All right, we have a different subject now. Are you the owner of Simon's Bookstore?
Yes, since I shared it with my husband.
How
until he
did the
passed away.
bookstore get started?
The bookstore got started because we got married.
Who got married?
Simon and me.
Simon and you. Simon,
Yes.
what was his
Simon
last-
Fich.
Simon Schiff?
Fitch.
Fitch. Simon Fitch. Sorry. Okay, that makes sense, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got married
We
way
got
back in...
married because and
When did you get married?
1970,
Okay.
and we met through the Shea Wells bill. We were fighting the Vietnam War together,
Oh, yeah.
and we were always on the same bus. We met each other like on the bus going back and forth to the hearings in Boston about the Shea Wells bill, which we were trying to get passed, which would make it so that nobody in Massachusetts could be drafted to go to Vietnam. And that was successful. That bill was passed, and for about 8-9 months, people that were drafted in Massachusetts could not be sent to Vietnam. But then the Supreme Court said that...
That was unconstitutional.
Right, but it was in motion for 8-9 months.
Okay. So that's how the...
Oh,
When did you start the bookstore?
The bookstore. He lost his job, and we decided that we could live on one income and pay less, and war taxes, and have a place for discussions. And so we opened the bookstore.
When was that?
19,
About?
1972.
72. Okay, the start of the bookstore. How many books are in your store?
I haven't the slightest idea.
I know, as I've been in there, and you can't count them. You have a variety of books, isn't that true?
I would hope
Variety.
so, yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yes, right, okay. Is Simon's the only bookstore in Winthrop?
No. No, we have the book depot. Winthrop has 2 bookstores. Ours is the oldest, of course, but the book depot has been there now for 25 years. There is no bookstore between Winthrop north up until you get to Linfield. There's no bookstore in Revere, in Lynn, in Malden. I don't think there is. Wakefield. There had been the Swampscott Salem has the store that's related to the history, but it's not a general bookstore. So there isn't a real bookstore until you get to Linfield.
Right, so
there's plenty when you get into town, when you go south, but not north.
Right, so there's a shortage of bookstores. Can you order, if I come in there, can you
Yes,
order any book? I said,
absolutely.
oh, you don't have this book?
Yes.
Can you order it for me?
Certainly.
And it would be delivered to your store?
Yeah. Yes.
What are your hours of your store?
Monday through Thursday from 1 to I changed from 10 to 9 in the last year or so, and Saturday from 10 to 6, and Friday from 1 to 6, and Saturday from 10 to 6.
Great, okay, so you're open pretty much every day,
Except Sunday, yeah.
except Sunday. What do you do when you are not working?
When I'm not working,
Well, yeah, when you're not working in the bookstore, what do you do?
I like millions of things.
Yes, can you tell us a few things that you do?
Well, I'm right here right now.
What?
I'm right here right now, so that's this. I don't know. I go food shopping sometimes. I do errands sometimes. I want to see Frank's.
Accordion concerts?
No. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to go to the museum and see Frank Constantino's exhibit, which I haven't seen
What
yet. but
museum?
The Athenaeum in downtown Boston, where Frank
The MFA?
No, it's not at the MFA. It's at the
Athenaeum, you
I
said?
think. Yeah.
Okay, so you like to go to museums, and what do you like
I
to eat?
like to walk and bicycle when I can get back to using the bike and so forth.
Okay, that's pretty good. Walk and bicycle. Do you go out to eat with friends?
Of course, yeah.
Of course. Well,
mean-
people don't know what you do. That's why I'm asking you what else you do. Okay, so you eat out with friends. But do you? What else do you like to do? Do you? You take walks and you bicycle, and
I love swimming.
what?
I love swimming. I love having the beach
Where do you swim?
down at the beach.
In the ocean.
Yes.
Well, it's okay.
I urged, I hope, I wish sometime that they would have an excellent pool someplace in Winthrop. Not for me, I don't need the pool, but I think it's a shame that if you want to give your kids swimming lessons, you have to go to Revere. I don't know if that's changed or not, but
Revere, where they have
a swimming pool that you can take swimming lessons in.
yeah. They also have a pool at the YMCA in Lynn, but that's kind of far away.
I have no idea. I just know that so many
They
of
do have
my
one in
friends
Revere,
growing up.
which I've always thought about going to, but everyone tells me there's nowhere to park over there.
I have no idea. I just know that when kids are growing up in families for years in Winthrop, would have to bring their kids to Revere to learn to swim,
Yeah.
as opposed to having swimming classes in Winthrop.
Yeah, so
But I don't
really,
know.
yeah, what you say, it would be really nice if the town would build a swimming pool.
Well, I was saying that years and years ago. I don't know what the story is now.
I don't
My
know what the
friends'
story is
kids are
about a
all grown
pool,
up.
but, you know, I think that that would be something that should be done. You have the book club, right?
We have a book discussion group, yes. It's the first Monday of the month, and it's there's always in the window. There's always the book people chose for the next book club meeting. The people at the meeting decide what the next book will be. It's always the first Monday, unless it's not going to work, and that's it.
Yeah, and that is the first Monday of the month, correct?
Yes.
First Monday of the month. I am, in fact, actually a member of the book club, and we read a different book every month. And we get together and pick it, and it takes place in Lee's bookstore. That's where the book club meets. And
Anybody's welcome.
anybody's welcome. There you go. And I will throw in every Saturday morning a number of people who are sort of friends with each other meet in Lee's apartment, and not apartment, but in next to her office, and have coffees.
It's
right?
often in it's not necessarily. Sometimes it's in the kitchen, and sometimes people come and just sit in the armchair near the piano.
Right. So it's a little meeting. It's a little social get together in Lee's. What would you call it? The office space. Anyway, it's in what?
It's not an office space.
No, where is it?
I consider the whole bookstore my home.
Okay. It's in the kitchen, basically.
Not always.
Not always. No. No, it moves around.
And
but
it's not a real group. It's people come as they want.
Yes.
I mean, but that's true every day. But it just happens more on Saturday.
yeah, some people come, some people don't. But they're sort of a regular group. I go, for instance. There is a few people that tend to be there every week. Some people come every week and some people don't. But it's a real pleasant group that Lee makes possible by having the space available. And basically, she is the coffee queen. She makes coffee for everybody. If I go into her store for a book, the first thing she will say is, "Oh, can I get you a cup of coffee?"
Oh, but do you know about the coffee?
What?
And what's the coffee? What kind of coffee is it?
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Okay, it's the coffee from El Salvador. It's the coffee that during the struggles in El Salvador, when I went down quite a few times. I started off with going with a group that went to Nicaragua. What do you call it? A peace action group that went to Nicaragua and El Salvador and Guatemala. And then I started going just to El Salvador regularly with a group of people. And that started when the United States was bombing El Salvador, for I forget what the reasons were, but I know it was a horrendous thing. And we used to go and take coffee beans from this village that was not destroyed completely, but for a while the trees weren't producing and so forth. But when the coffee began to be produced again, and donkeys would take it down from up the hills and bring it down, and visitors would use suitcases and bring it back to the United States. And it was perfectly legal. You could take the coffee over the border, and from the suitcases that could come in. So for years we took coffee back from El Salvador and had it roasted and so forth in Boston. And no longer, we don't have to come down and get it now. It's 35 years later, and the coffee comes by boat inlands, and my friend picks it up and we get it roasted, and I always have bags of Isotalillo coffee from El Salvador ready.
That's a very interesting story, Lee, and very actually very moving that the El Salvador is now producing coffee, and very, I think, impressive that Lee buys El Salvadorian coffee exclusively. Well, I think we've covered a lot of material, and I thank you very much for being on the show, Lee. Yes, I look forward to watching you on WCAT.